All right. Welcome to AC Flora High School in Forest Acres, South Carolina. This is Richland Post 215 against Lexington Post 7, the third game of the year between these two teams.
Yeah, Richland has 2-5, taken both of them so far by a walk-off on the first game of the season a couple weeks ago, 3-2, and then they just won last night 6-5 against Post 7. So they're trying for the season or the summer sweep, I'm gonna call it.
Yeah, summer sweep.
Summer sweep. So yeah, these teams see each other know each other kind of in and out. Leading off for Lexington is Gabe Harold, the second baseman for Lexington, takes an outside ball. It's 2-0 quickly. Harold been one of the most solid players on the Post 7 squad so far this year, hitting .471, which is the team best, and has the best on-base percentage at .429. Man can get on quick and makes things happen as he swings through a hard fastball on the outside edge. 2-1 here in the early going of this one. On the mound for the 2-1-5, you may see it's Matthew Moore. Moore only had one game played so far. Throws a fastball low, so it's ball 3.
Yeah, that was away, right?
Yeah, he played at Florence and pitched 5 innings. He got the win as well. 5 innings, 4 hits, and only 1 earned run against Florence in the win against them a couple weeks ago. Big fastball there, strike 2 against Harold. It's going to be a full count here coming up. But yeah, this is one of the only pitchers on our team Lexington hasn't really seen so far this summer. So we'll see if Moore can kind of use that to his advantage in the early going. Full count pitch coming, swinging, strike 3. Matthew Moore at 3 Ks against Florence. That's how he starts his night against Lexington. Harold swinging over, looked to be a changeup there.
Yeah, we got to see Matthew Moore pitch for Dreer at the Forest Acres Classic this year.
Yeah, Matthew, he's pitched at Dreer, and now he's committed to pitch at Coker this upcoming season. So next up, left-handed hitter. Whit Rucker flies one out to left field. That's Rince Best out there, making the play look pretty easy for out number 2. It's a great way to start if you're Matthew Moore. 2 quick outs here against Lexington.
Yeah, he's not at 38 pitches. I forgot to clear the pitch count.
He's at a 7.
1, 2, 3, 7?
He's at 7? Yep, he's at 7. So that brings up another familiar face here in the Across the Midlands. It's Weston Grant, the state champion for 5A on the River Bluff. Grant been a mainstay at third base for the Lexington Post as he takes high fastball for a ball.
And on that last fly ball, I forgot to delay my switch of the cameras.
It's fine, 1-0 pitch, curveball fouled back.
Yeah.
Behind the dish for the 2-1-5. That's Rucker Brannon, who has become a mainstay back there. He was getting splitting early with McLean Arnett, but Rucker Brannon has been starting the last couple games behind the dish, so the Hammond product has maybe won that job. I have no idea how the summer's going to go. Looks like Weston Grant checked his swing and it went foul. Now it's 1-2 against the third baseman.
Well, when you're theoretically playing in 95-degree heat in South Carolina, you need more than one catcher.
Exactly.
We haven't hit that 95-degree heat yet.
To say, especially in the major leagues, you play more than one catcher, so probably be a split the whole year round. 1-2 pitch, curveball, jumped, foul ball down the left field line. So we've seen Grant at River Bluff. This year he settled into the Lexington Post 7, hitting .381 for them so far this year. And the future Francis Marion commit looking to start it off here as he pops one high, foul down the left field line. That will go out of play into the forest here in Forest Acres. You saw the third baseman there. That was Evan Smith, usually an outfielder for AC Flora. He's getting the start tonight at third base. So new position here for Evan. We'll see how he can adapt, and hopefully he does it quickly. 1-2 pitch coming to Weston Grant. Hard hit, lined into center. Carew Bates going over. Easy play. Has the time to make it 3 up, 3 down. Matt Moore starts his night off with a bang. We're scoreless going to the bottom of the first.
Richland post 215, the center fielder, Carew Bates.
So here we go, bottom of the first inning. 2-1-5 will get their first cracks here as Carew Bates, one of the best hitters for the 2-1-5. The right-hander gets into the box. College of Charleston commit, has been a mainstay here at the leadoff and has been ever so dangerous. First pitch to him. As I said, that lined in deep out to center field, looking up, and goodbye. Team leading third home run for Carew Bates. The ever so dangerous hitter just racked up his 11th RBI on the year as he rounds third base. His second here at Forest Acres. And actually, I think his third. And Carew starts this night off right where Matthew Moore left off with a bang right to center. Quick 1-0 lead here for the 2-1-5.
I may have switched too early on that one too. Dang it.
Well,
I'm gonna work it out.
I'm sure many people don't really care as much. That was a moonshot. That one's high flow into center. Evan Smith takes that for a ride right at the center fielder Nathan Reynolds. One away here in the bottom of the first. So Evan Smith trying to attack Torbett early, just like Carew did. However, didn't get exactly the same result. That will bring up Julian Scott here for the 2-1-5. Just like Carew, Scott been one of the most dangerous hitters at the plate, hitting .333 coming into the game. Used to start leadoff. Now he's moved back into that three-hole role for the 2-1-5. He takes an outside fastball for a strike. Lefty against lefty here in the early going. Foul tips that one back. Now it's 0-2 for Scott. I really haven't even got to talk about Torbett, but he's been probably the best pitcher for Lexington post 7 so far this year. 10 innings pitched, only a 2.1 ERA so far in the early going. So he has most innings pitched with probably the best ERA, kind of like that ratio for this team. So we'll kind of see if he settles in here. He's ahead of Scott 1-2. Comes home with the pitch. Scott taps that one out to third base. That's Weston Grant on the play. Throwing over to first and high and gets away from the first baseman. Julian Scott reaches on an error by Weston Grant. Looked like a routine play there from the future Francis Marion commit. However, let that one slip away from him and let Julian Scott scamper over to first. So 1 on and 1 down here for the hulking lefty, Cannon Dorsey. If there's anyone who has more power on this team right now than Carew Bates, it's that man in the box, Cannon Dorsey. Dorsey only has a home run on the year, but we've seen him get pitched around ever so many times. First pitch to him, low, ball 1. Dorsey's already drawn 5 walks on the year. However, along with those 5 walks, he has struck out 6 times. So is kind of vulnerable to that strikeout, but has power to spare here. Scott on first, pitch home. Outside fastball, 2-0 here. Torbett trying not to give Dorsey a pitch to hit. Dorsey trying to bounce back from yesterday's game against these guys. Went 0-4 with a strikeout. Now he did put one home, one of the 6 runs we had yesterday, but love to improve here. Next pitch, curveball, outer edge against the lefty. Strike 1. So the lefty, or the right-handed pitcher, Torbett, now goes back to first. Unable to pick him off. Torbett trying to kind of settle in here. You know, he could have had 2 outs, but Weston Grant threw one away, and now got a dangerous runner over there at first. Scott hasn't attempted a stolen base yet. He doesn't there. That one's in the dirt. Now Torbett behind Dorsey, 3-1. Julian Scott has attempted 1 stolen base. He is 1 for 1 coming into today. Now the 3-1 pitch coming home. Curveball, no.
Wow.
Dorsey thought it was inside, but umpire called him back in, said it hit the inside corner. Now it's a full count here with 1 out. We'll see if Julian Scott takes off. Forbert looks him back. Julian Scott stays. Pitch. Foul down the right field line. So full count pitch, 1 out. Early portion of this one, Dorsey at the plate, Julian Scott at first. And on the deck, it's going to be Rince Best. Familiar face here across the Midlands. Dorsey trying to give him a much easier path to an RBI here. Full count pitch coming. Julian Scott takes off, lined right up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. Scott rounds second. He'll head to third as that ball comes in softly. And a hit for Cannon Dorsey. One he didn't get yesterday. And allows Julian Scott, as he tried to steal, now took third. He was in motion. And Dorsey does just that. Gives Rince Best a very nice opportunity here to jump on Lexington. The last 2 games we've seen between these teams have been very close, decided by a combined 2 runs. Trying to change that here would be the 2-1-5 and get out to a pretty big lead. At the dish is the AC Flora Falcon, Evan Smith, takes that curveball in the inside corner, strike 1. Rince, the right-handed batter, we'll be seeing him a lot next spring here at Falcon Field. Now Dorsey takes off going to first. Row down, no, fakes the throw. Dorsey trying to bait it, slides into second. Without a throw, and he'll take it. So now there's 2 runners in scoring position. Behind the dish for Lexington Post was Jaden Carnahan. He's been a mainstay there for the Post 7, and he's done a good job of holding Scott at third. Evan now Rince, soft liner right at the second baseman, Gabe Harold. 2 away, both runners have to stay. So in comes back in Caleb Gibson. Gibson, be a really big time for him to turn his summer around. He's only been able to put up 4 hits so far this summer. Would be a monumental spot that could give the 2-1-5 multi-run inning and a nice lead here in the first. First pitch, curveball, looked to be a little high, ball 1. Gibson able to lay off. Gibson will be going to Spartanburg Methodist next year. He's trying to get himself tuned up here this summer. 1-0 pitch coming, chopped on the ground toward Harold at second, fields it cleanly and makes the fire to first for the 3rd out. So the 2-1-5 leave 2 stranded, but Carew Bates solo leadoff homer gives them the 1-0 lead. We'll head to the top of the 2nd here on Definite Fiction. So welcome back here to AC Flora High School here in Forest Acres. Top of the 2nd, due up here in this American Legion game. 2-1-5 hold the early 1-0 lead, and leading off here in the 2nd will be Patrick Evans, the shortstop. High fly, foul territory down the first base line. Going over Rucker Brand, and the catcher makes the play. Out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 foul fly out. Quickly 4 up, 4 down here for Matthew Moore. Only throwing 15 pitches. Or 14, excuse me. So that brings up the first baseman, Gavin Creed, the lefty for Lexington. First pitch to him, fastball outside. 0-1. Gavin hasn't had many chances at the plate, only 8 registered plate appearances, but he has 2 hits in those. Trying to fight here as Matthew Moore gives him one right down Broadway for strike 1. Gavin yesterday against the 2-1-5 went 0 for 3, trying to change that here as he fouls one back into himself. Now it's 2 in the early going. Creed also took the loss on the mound yesterday, went 3 innings with 5 hits and 3 earned runs. Now back in the field today, and hard one on the right side of the infield. Julian Scott goes over, fumbles it, now tries to fire to first. Ball gets away from Davidson, and it looks like Creed will be aboard on an error from, I would assume, Julian Scott. Cannot tell if that ball was catchable for Davidson, but Scott fumbled that ball about 2-3 times, allowing Creed to get over to first. So that's the first base runner here against Matthew Moore. Hitting in the 6th hole, the catcher, Jaden Carnahan, here for Lexington Post 7. It's a breezy day here at Forest Acres, but not too windy, shouldn't impact the game that much. First pitch to Carnahan, inside. Righty watches it go by. It's now 1-0. Carnahan played this past season at Newberry, trying to again ramp up his summer here. First pitch, next pitch is going to be fouled into the dugout of Lexington, putting that count at 1-1 here. Matthew Moore on the mound, now looking back over at first. Pretty small leave over there for Creed. Now fires home, curveball high, ball 2. Carnahan coming into tonight, hitting .294 with 2 RBIs for Lexington. Tries to pick him off. At first, Matthew Moore unsuccessful. So far, though, this summer series, trying to get that name right here. Next curveball in there, inside corner, strike 2. But the summer series hasn't treated Carnahan well. Has not yet to record a hit against the 2-1-5. He's 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, but he has drawn 3 walks, so he can find his way on base here. 2-2 coming home, swinging strike 3 in the dirt. Runner Creed will take second, but Carnahan will be out. You'll have to go back to the dugout since technically Creed was occupying first. It's a swinging strike, so ball in the dirt doesn't matter even if it gets away from the catcher. However, on the pass ball, Creed did take second. Weird rule how it works. Nonetheless, 2 down here. And for the 7-hole hitter, Nathan Reynolds. Reynolds played at Coker this past season, but he swings through a fastball there, 0-1. Against Reynolds. Reynolds, not the hitter you want to see up for the 2-1-5 in this situation. Leading the team for Lexington in RBIs with 8. However, Matthew Moore quickly ahead, 0-2 against Reynolds. The righty hasn't been able to make contact here. Moore looking to try to shut the door. 0-2 pitch coming home. Fastball, outer edge, poked to the right side of the infield. Davidson at first got it. Going over to cover first is Moore, who holds in hat. Hat falls off, makes the play nonetheless. Out number 3. Matthew Moore, good cover. So, error almost gets away from Matthew Moore, but he's able to recuperate and keep Lexington 7 off the board. It's a 1-0 lead going to the bottom of the second. So here we go to the bottom of the second. Left-handed first baseman Matthew Davidson leads off and rips one foul to begin his night here against Jake Torbett. Torbett gave up a leadoff homer to Carew Bates and then left two stranded at second and third for the 2-1-5 back in the first. Looking for a cleaner inning here, and he's right now ahead of Davidson 0-2 after Davidson puts that one into the backstop.
Do you have his pitch count?
Torbett is at 18 pitches 19, excuse me, as of that last one. Next on the way, low in the dirt, no offer from Davidson there. So it'll go to 1-2. Davidson has played both games of this summer series so far, but as it has been with a lot of these players, hasn't really treated him, since Carnahan hasn't really treated him well. 0 for 6 with a strikeout and a walk. And he goes down there swinging again. Strike 3 on the fastball on the outer edge against the lefty. So that's Torbett's first strikeout of the night. So he gets Davidson swinging through. Here comes up the catcher, Rucker Brandon. Rucker was able to play in the game yesterday where he went 1 for 1 with an RBI. And he drew a walk as well from behind the dish. Took one low, ball 1. Now the umpire coming out about halfway to the mound to talk to, as Carnahan going to talk to Torbett. Not really sure why. Torbett looked like he had a pretty good pitch there to end Davidson. But throw was in the dirt, and Carnahan has something to tell him.
Probably don't throw it in the dirt.
Probably. That's usually how it goes. You don't usually want to throw it there on the first pitch.
No, that's a bad idea.
Maybe on like the third pitch when you're trying to give him a swinging strike 3, but not there. Brandon fouls one down the left field line, just left of the bag. A little closer than I thought it was initially, but foul nonetheless. So just like Matthew Moore for the 2-1-5, this is also Torbett's first appearance in this summer series, and he gets a hearty swing and a miss there from Rucker Brandon. That looked like a changeup low in the zone. Now it's 1-1. Working quickly, Torbett. Davidson pokes one out right behind the bag at first, going back, making the play, Gavin Creed. 2 down quickly here for Jake Torbett. That will bring up the AC Flora Falcon, Cooper Revels. Cooper Revels, he's been playing a lot of short so far this summer for the 2-1-5. That doesn't change tonight. He's over there. First pitch from Torbett, curveball, outer edge of the zone, strike 1. Coop went 0 for 3 yesterday against Lexington Post 7, and he watches a fastball stay out of the zone for ball 1. Torbett now comes home, fires the pitch, fouled back into the backstop. It's now 1-2. Just like Matthew Moore did the lead off the game in the top of the first, Torbett trying to have a 1-2-3 inning against the bottom 3 in the 2-1-5's order. So next pitch on the way, 1-2, chopped over to third. Weston Grant able to pick that this time, fires to first, and almost hits Cooper, but Cooper had to slow down to make sure it doesn't hit him, and he's out. So a 1-2-3 inning for Torbett. He's strike out, pop out, and a ground out. So it's a 1-0 lead here still for Richland. We'll go to the top of the third. Moore coming home, curveball. That one's beaten into the ground, foul. Moore fights back, and the count is now 2-2. And the 2-1-5 hold the 1-0 lead early in this game after the Carew Bates leadoff homer for the 2-1-5 back in the first. Now Lexington trying to even it up here in the third. So 2-2, coming home, pitch inside, fastball swinging, strike 3. Just like last inning, though, off the wild pitch. McCathern will take second here with 2 down. So same rules apply as of last inning. Since McCathern was occupying first at the time of the pitch, he couldn't, Harold couldn't take first off the pitch swinging strike in the dirt. That was dropped. However, even though so the wild pitch, McCathern moves to second. So 2 down, runner on second here for the 2-hole batter, Whit Rucker, who pops that one right behind the bag at second. Cooper Revels calling everyone off, makes the play. The shortstop goes into shallow center field for the 3rd out. So Matthew Moore, same thing as last inning, works around a leadoff hit by pitch and keeps Lexington off the board. It's 1-0 lead here for the 2-1-5. So bottom of the third, here we go. Leading it off here for the 2-1-5. Let's break the chain, plays in the background. It's Carew Bates, who put a long ball into center back in the first. Now he grounds one over to third base, where Weston Grant will make the play out number 1. Carew Bates can't follow up that solo shot, as he's the ground out victim for the first out of the inning. So both pitchers here working quickly in these games. We've seen Matthew Moore, he's only at 36 pitches. Right now, Torbett, just the same, just at around 30. So Evan Smith here now takes a curveball right down Broadway for strike 1. Evan Smith tried to follow Carew Bates, flying out to center back in the first. Now he takes one up the middle, but Evans at short cuts it off and gets the sidearm throw to first. 2 down quickly for Lexington post 7. That will bring back up Julian Scott, second baseman for the 2-1-5. Left-hander reached on an error to third base back in the first, where he was left stranded all the way at third. First pitch to him from Torbett is going to be fouled down the left field line into the forestry here at Falcon Field. Julian Scott, again, this series has been kind to him as the recent ones have gone over. 3 for 6 with a run and a stolen base. Trying to increase that, all those totals here, but takes out fastball in the outside corner. It's 0-2 here for Torbett, who is now attacking these 2-1-5 hitters. Next pitch, foul down the left field line, going out of play. Julian Scott looking to battle here. He is 1 for 3 average on the year. Trying to increase that. Outside fastball, ball 1, Scott laying off. Scott has only struck out 5 times this summer, trying not to have a 6th. He lines that one into right field, going back. Reynolds, that one's toward the wall. He's going to have room and make the play. I thought that had a good chance of getting out, but Julian Scott just misses a homer for out number 3. So, scoreless bottom of the third for the 215. It's still a 1-0 lead for your post to Richland 215. We'll be right back here at Forest Acres for the 4th.
For Lexington.
So we're moving quickly here. Already at the top of the 4th, only 30 minutes deep into this one. Lexington post 7 trying to avoid a 3-game losing streak. Stepping into the box for them, the right-handed third baseman, Weston Grant, leading it off for Lexington to begin the 4th inning. He lined out to center in his last at-bat, and for his first pitch against Moore in the 4th, takes a fastball inside third of the zone for strike number 1. Matthew Moore, just like Torbett, attacking these Lexington hitters, throws a curveball into the dirt, so that will even the count at 1s here in Forest Acres. Moore now winds up and deals the 2-1 curveball, swinging over at strike 2. Weston Grant couldn't find it. That ball just dropped below his bat. Now he trails 1 and 2 in the count. 1-2 pitch coming home. Fastball inside. Doesn't catch the zone, even in the count at 2s. Weston Grant, another player who hasn't had a good time against the 2-1-5, only 1 for 7 in the summer series. Now receiving the 2-2 pitch, curveball, line down the left field line, and foul. Grant has struck out twice against the 2-1-5, both in the first game of the series against Charles Flake and Ryan Harrelson. Count is 2-2. The pitch coming home. High fastball. Filler up. So full count here against Grant. He has drawn a walk. He drew one last night. Trying to draw his second of the summer series. This time would be against Moore. Moore wheels, deals home. Curveball. Just inside. Ball 4. Weston Grant watches it go by for a lead-off walk here for Lexington.
Is the shortstop, Patrick Evans.
That was the first walk Matthew Moore has relinquished tonight. We'll see if he can bounce back here against the shortstop, Patrick Evans. I could barely get Patrick's name out of my mouth back in the second before he fouled it back to Rucker Brandon behind the dish. See if Patrick has a little better outing here. Weston over at first. Now Moore comes home, curveball low and away, ball 1. Evans 0 for 6 against the 2-1-5 this summer. Last night wasn't better. See, Moore see a pickoff attempt. He wasn't able to get him. Last night Evans was 0 for 2. Did put one home though, had an RBI, so it wasn't a complete lost night for him. Another pickoff attempt. That one was close. Davidson, and if it looked like Davidson held that ball a little longer, he would have had Weston Grant kind of dead to rights at first as Grant took his lead off, but Davidson still had the ball. Now Moore comes home, the 1-0. High inside, ball 2. Weston Grant only has 1 stolen base so far this summer. He's only attempted 1. Matthew Moore trying to keep him over there at first, not having him attempt another one. 2-0 pitch, inside fastball, stays inside. Now it's 3-0 here. Matthew Moore, after not walking one through the first 3 innings, in danger of giving up back-to-back walks here. Would not be the thing you really want to do against a solid Lexington team who can put up runs. Average over 4 a game. 3-0 coming home, Moore, inside fastball, doesn't get the zone. It's a close pitch, but Moore walks him on 4 straight to put runners at first and second. So quick pitch count here, but as I was kind of mentioning, stat-wise, Lexington kind of has the edge over the 215. They have not more than 4. They have 5.3 runs per game and only give up 4.4, while the 215 only really gets around 3.4 runs a game, and they let up around 6. So on paper, it looks like Lexington kind of outduels the 215, but again, the 215 have taken both games so far this summer. Into the box comes Gavin Creed, the lefty, who swings over a fastball for strike 1. Matthew Moore, big strike there after missing with his last 5 pitches. That goes ahead of Creed here in the early portion of this at-bat. 0-1 pitch coming home, hard hit right back to Moore. He's going to bobble it, so he's going to have to only go to first, where he gets the easy play. But Creed at least does the job there for his team. Moves both runners up a bag. It looked like if Moore could have handled that cleanly, we could have seen a double play there. However, Moore bobbled it, and the only play he had was at first. So Jaden Carnahan could have a really big spot here for him. He has only 2 RBIs through the first 7 games for Lexington. However, he has 2 more standing in scoring position now. See how he can do it. First pitch on the way, curveball, strike 1, beautiful from Matthew Moore. That ball broke right across the heart of the zone and froze Carnahan. Moore not giving much look to the runners at second. No one's holding them. Now goes home, swinging strike 2 in the dirt, fastball. Or it looked maybe a changeup there. Either way, Carnahan couldn't find it. Now he's behind 0-2. Carnahan did go down swinging on a ball in the dirt back in the second. Cannot afford one here. It'd be a big second out for the 2-1-5. 0-2 on the way. Fastball outside corner. Strike 3 looking. Carnahan watches that one go by, and now there's 2 away in the 4th. Big strikeout for Matthew Moore. That's his 4th this evening. Nathan Reynolds trying to put a couple home. Again, the team leader, 8 RBIs. Big spot for him to grab 2 more here against Moore. First pitch on the way, low fastball in the dirt, ball 1. Reynolds had a slow ground up to Matthew Davidson over at first. Davidson had to make the play quickly, or Matthew Moore covering. They were able to flip it over and get him out. See if it changes here. Curveball right across the plate, strike 1. Matthew Moore is now locating that curveball very well. He's got Carnahan and Reynolds watching it go by. 1-1 pitch here, coming home, fouled it back. Reynolds. Now Matthew Moore 1 pitch away from maneuvering out of this inning. Walk the 2 leadoff batters. This now has his 3rd out in sights, but he has to go through one of the best hitters in the clutch here for Lexington. 1-2 pitch coming home, fastball in the dirt, gets away from Rucker Brandon. Breaks from third, Weston Grant. The cover, not in time. Weston Grant slides home safely with the first run here for Lexington. The wild pitch got between the legs of Rucker Brandon. And that allows Weston Grant to come home and tie this game up here at the top of the 4th. So now Nathan Reynolds has that go-ahead run. At third, he'd love to hit home. 2-2 the pitch, coming home, curveball, got him looking, strike three. Matthew Moore locating that well. Now gets Reynolds looking for strikeout number 5. But a wild pitch sends Weston Grant home and ties this game up at ones. In the top of the fourth, will the 2-1-5 respond? In the bottom, we'll find out up here next.
Richland 215, designated hitter.
All right, you're back.
Dorsey.
And we are back to begin the bottom of the fourth inning. Cannon Dorsey, designated hitter for the 2-1-5. He's in the leadoff position here in the fourth. So Lexington put one across here to tie it at ones going to the bottom of the fourth. We'll see if the 2-1-5 can respond. However, Dorsey watches that fastball paint the outside edge of the zone for strike one. Quickly, Torbett coming home. 0-1, swinging strike two. Dorsey is behind. Again, Dorsey leading the team in strikeouts with 6. In danger of having a 7th here. 0-2 pitch coming home, bouncing into the chest protector of Carnahan. Dorsey yesterday went 0 for 4. Again, did have an RBI, but he fell a strikeout victim once. Trying not to have that happen here again, this time against Torbett. 1-2 pitch on its way high and fouled into the left side. So 1-2 pitch. Now winding, dealing is Torbett. High fastball. Outer edge of the zone, but high. 2-2. Outer edge of the plate, not the zone. I don't think it caught the zone. It was up around the letters. 2-2 pitch coming home. High and away fastball. Now it's 3-2 here for Dorsey. On deck would be the left fielder Rince Best. See if it gets to him with Dorsey on. Next pitch, high fly ball into left field. Going back is Biggs. Should have room out there as now he comes in to make the play for out one. Looked like a towering shot there from Dorsey. Brought Biggs back a little, but he had to come back in as that ball recessed in the air. So in comes back in Rince Best. Rince had a soft line out to second base back in the first. Trying for his first hit of the night. Grounds one foul into the Lexington dugout to fall behind 0-1. Next pitch on the way, the 0-1 pitch right down Broadway. It looks like strike two against Rince. Rince only 1 for 2 in this summer series. Looking to improve here. Curveball stays inside. Ball 1. So Torbett been knocking down hitters here. Next pitch to Rince. Slow fastball in the dirt. 2-2. Torbett hasn't allowed a base runner or a base hit since Cannon Dorsey all the way back in the first. So the last 10 batters he's cut, or the last 9 he's cut down. 2-2 on the way to Rince. Swinging and foul behind the backstop, so we'll do it again. Torbett on the mound, shakes off a pitch. Now he winds, deals home, curveball, poked over to the right side of the infield. That's going to be Harold coming over, making the play from second. It's out number 2. And that's 10 straight for Torbett. Back up for the 2-1-5, the right-handed right fielder, Caleb Gibson. Been a low-scoring affair so far, only 2 hits in the whole game, and those were both by Richland in the first. Now Caleb Gibson trying to add on, but he lines one foul into the bleachers down right field. Next pitch here from Torbett on the way. Curveball breaks over the plate. Gibson pokes it through the hole, right side of the infield, base hit. Gibson waited back on that inside curveball and just put it through the hole on the right side in the right field. So it's a 2-out single for the 2-1-5. That's the first hit since back in the first for either side. So in will come back in left-handed first baseman, Matthew Davidson. Davidson went down swinging in the second. Trying now to mount a 2-out rally here for the 2-1-5, but not before Torbett goes and checks on Gibson at first. Now Torbett's going to come set, still looking back at Gibson at first. Now will come home Davidson. Inside fastball near the shins of Davidson, 1-0. Davidson went 0 for 3 in the game yesterday, trying to find his first hit this week. Now Gibson runs, pitch hit up the middle off the glove of Torbett. Going to be a tough play. Fires barehanded, gets the out at first. The grounder took the glove off of Torbett, but he's able to recover and make the play at first for the 3rd out and keep this game tied at 1. So 1-1 here. We're going to go to the 5th inning in a quick game here at Forest Acres. Right back on Definite Fiction. So the sun, moments from going down here in the Midlands. Not many times we get to the 5th inning here at Forest Acres with the sun up. However, tonight is one of those nights. Grayson Biggs, right-handed left fielder, leading it off for Lexington Post 7. He shoots one out to right field. Gibson going back near the wall, but makes the play a couple feet from danger. So, long first out there for Grayson Biggs. Took that one for a ride out to right field. So here steps in the designated hitter, Hodges McCathern. Again, we're a scoreless game, and Lexington still doesn't have a hit in this game. It's been 2 walks and hit by pitch, and a couple wild pitches that have done Matthew Moore in. There's another hit by pitch, right on the back of McCathern. right between the numbers, it looked like. So, 1 out base runner is aboard. Hodges McCaffrey, second time he's reached tonight. One of the only players for either side to have that be the case. Actually, it looks like he's the only player on either side for that to be the case. So here we go, top of the order now. It's back up for Lexington Post. Starting their third go-round of the order is Gabe Harold. However, Gabe would really like Matthew Moore to get out of the game. Been 2 of the 5 strikeout victims from the right-handed pitcher for the 2-on-5. Now the sun falls behind the trees here at Forest Acres for Moore's first pitch. Fastball low and away, ball 1. McCaffrey over at first. Gabe Harold at the plate, trying to hit him in. Next pitch on the way, bouncing ball in the dirt into Rucker Brandon behind the dish. So now it's 2-0. Here, Matthew Moore does not need another walk. He walked the 2 last inning. That one came home and scored, but he left one stranded on third. Trying to do something different here. Next pitch, again bouncing home. And Harold looking for his first walk. He's walked 4 times this summer so far. Would love to put some more pressure here on Matthew Moore in the 5th. 3-0 pitch coming home. Low, no, around the knee, strike. Looked like a little low. Harold was about to throw that bat before the umpire called him back in to the box. So it's 3-1 here. Again, McCaffrey has 2 stolen bases. We may see him going here. He doesn't. Pitch inside corner, strike 2. And here we go. Full count coming to Harold. Harold's got to be thinking, what do I need to do? He was ahead 3-0. He's taken 2 straight pitches that are strikes. Now he takes one low for ball 4. Finally gets aboard with a walk. So for the second straight inning, there's first and second here with 1 out against Matthew Moore, and this is the first mound visit for the 2-1-5. See what they have to say to Matthew Moore. We'll be right back here in Forest Acres with the quick mound visit coming up. So Matthew Moore staying in the game here against Lexington. Corner infielders are in. Middle infield plan double play depth. Now for Rucker. Runners on first and second. Rucker, left-handed pitch, left-handed. Right fielder watches one fastball go right down inner third of the plate for strike number 1. Rucker has flied out and popped out tonight. Looking for his first hit. 0-1 curveball stays outside. That was close. But Rucker able to lay off, even in that count at 1s. Matthew Moore trying to find his way to trouble again. 1-1 pitch right down Broadway. Fastball, strike 2. Matthew Moore still hasn't allowed a hit tonight, but we are tied on the scoreboard. And he's walked 3, hit 2 batters, trying to skirt around danger for the second straight inning. 1-2 pitch coming home, poked, foul ball from Whit Rucker. Whit has 4 RBIs so far this summer, but none against the 2-1-5. He's now 0 for 8. 1-2 on the way, fastball, curved, foul ball, left side. Rucker fighting that one off to stay alive. Matthew Moore standing on the mound, trying to look for a putout anywhere he can get it. 1-2 pitch coming home, curveball lifted into center. Coming in is Carew Bates, long run, dives, makes the play in center field. Carew Bates keeps a hit off the board, keeps the no-hitter alive, and now there are 2 away in the 5th. Carew Bates, the College of Charleston commit, showing off the leather. Full extension dive in center field for the second out. After a tough way to go for Whit Rucker, Weston Grant will see if he can avenge him here. There's 2 down for the righty. Next pitch, that one's lined right into center. Carew Bates goes over, makes the play as he goes into left center. So 2 straight lineouts to Carew Bates, 1 phenomenal dive from the center fielder to keep this game at 1s. And we're headed to the bottom of the 5th, still tied at 1.
All right, here we go.
The sun going under the trees here in Forest Acres as the lights turn on here at Falcon Field for the bottom of the 5th inning. So Carew Bates with the web gem last inning. Jake Torbett still on the mound, quickly firing to Rucker Brandon. First pitch, curveball, inner half, strike 1. Can barely get my words out before Jake Torbett goes on the mound. Next pitch, fastball, outer third against the right-handed hitter. It's now 0-2 against the 2-1-5's catcher. He popped out right behind the bag at first last at bat, trying for a hit, but leaves that one in the dirt for ball 1. It's been a pitcher's duel so far between Matthew Moore and Torbett. Matthew Moore at 72 pitches, while Torbett just hit his 56th. Or 57th, excuse me. Now he's about to throw his 58th here against Brandon. Pitch, lined foul down the right field line, out of play. Brandon, Hammond catcher, become a mainstay behind the dish, trying to make it matter at the plate. Next pitch, fastball just outside. Rucker leaves it off, so it's 2-2. Next pitch coming, line right over the first base coach's head. Foul ball. Brandon fighting in this at-bat, making Torbett work for his first out in the 5th. Brandon trying to get aboard. 2-2 pitch again, coming home. This time it's foul to the left side, into the Lexington dugout. Fight, 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 and fight. Rucker Brandon. That was his 3rd foul. Looking for a hit. 2-2 pitch. Now this one's popped foul over the bleachers into the forest. Keeping that count at 2-2. Torbett can't get this guy out, it seems, yet. 2-2 pitch yet again here coming home. Rucker Brandon leaves it off the plate. Outside fastball. Now it's full, 3-2 full count. Full count pitch coming home. Torbit, Brannon, another foul ball lined left side. Rucker Brannon staying alive, trying to will the 2-1-5 a base runner. Full count pitch. Coming home. Torbit again. This one's popped and will go out of play yet again. Left side into the forest. Rucker Brannon.
Rucker's going to owe Coach Dorsey some baseballs.
Yeah, Coach Dorsey's going to start charging his players. You know, it doesn't cost anything for this Legion League, but he may start charging them for every baseball they lose. Yeah. Rucker Brannon only has 1 walk on the year. Right now trying for a second, but he's also trying for a hit. Torbit hasn't been able to get him out. 3-2 coming home. Another foul ball, this time to the right side. Rucker Brannon staying alive. He's yet to strike out this summer, and I can see why. Full count pitch yet again coming home in the dirt, ball 4. Rucker Brannon. What an at-bat. Continues to find his way on base here for the 2-1-5. Leadoff walk here in the 5th.
Like even if he did strike out in that bat, I mean that's the difference between the pitcher going another inning and not. You know,
that was a 13 pitch at bat from the catcher for the 2-1-5. And you know, Torbit started this inning in the mid 50s. He's now up to 67 pitches on the afternoon or the night. Whatever it is, it's late, early afternoon, late night. Now Cooper Rebel showing bunt, unable to put it down, throw back first, and not in time. Rucker Brannon slides in. Couldn't tell if that pitch was called a strike. It looks like it was. Cooper Rebels just wasn't able to lay the bunt down. So 0-1 here against the starting shortstop for the 2-1-5. Cooper grounded over to Weston Grant. Now he's creeping in from third. Grounded over to him back in the second. Maybe trying to move over Rucker Brannon in what's been a pitcher's duel so far this evening. After Cooper, the top of the lineup turns over. 0-1. Cooper swings and puts it foul. Torbit getting ready to throw his 70th pitch of the night here. He's ahead of the right-handed shortstop. 0-2. As this game is deadlocked at 1. Torbit comes home 0-2, ball in the dirt. Carnahan stays in front. But that's ball 1 here to Cooper Revels. After Cooper again, lineup turns over. That's Carew Bates on deck. Torbit now comes home with the 1-2. Cooper fouls it off again. Another foul ball in the early part of this inning for Torbit. Torbit only has 1 strikeout tonight. That was against Matthew Davidson. He's trying for another one. 1-2 pitch outside, staying there. 2-2 now. Deja vu. Torbit throws it away. And now the count is even for Cooper Revels. Checking at first, now comes home with the 2-2, swinging, strike 3. Down goes Cooper Revels. Not so much deja vu. Cooper swing and a miss. And that will bring back up Carew Bates. So all the way back in the first, about only an hour ago, this game's moved by really quickly. Carew Bates took a towering shot into center field where all Nathan Reynolds could do was watch that go over the fence. Now Carew trying to add on to his RBI total yet again. Going at first is Rucker Brannon. Pitch, curveball, no throw at second. Great jump from Rucker Brannon. Rucker took off quickly.
He got off so quick that Carew was able to look over at him before deciding whether to swing it out. It's like halfway. Oh, I'll take this.
Especially with a curveball, there's no chance to get him at second. So Rucker Brannon swipes the bag. 0-1 pitch to Carew in the dirt. Ball 1. And that was Rucker Brannon's first stolen base of the summer. It could come in a really big opportunity as now a runner in scoring position for the RBI leader for the 2-1-5. Carew Bates. Big moment for him. College of Charleston commit. Done it at the plate and in the field. 1-1 coming home to him. Fastball low. Ball 2. Again, Carew in the top half of the inning had a diving catch in center to save a run. Trying now to retake the lead for the 2-1-5 in the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 count, 1 out. Rucker Brandon on second, coming home. Ball grounded to Weston Grant at third. He'll look back. Rucker Brandon go to first for the second out. No advancement from Rucker Brandon at second. Great play by the third baseman, Weston Grant. That's how you draw it up right there. You make sure he can't do anything, bring him back to the bag, then fire to first in time. So you'll see a courtesy runner come in for the 2-1-5. That's Ryan Harrelson.
Pitch runner for Richland, 215,
Ryan Harrelson. Probably won't see him tonight after he went on the mound last night and got the win over 3 innings in 5 strikeouts for the 2-1-5. Massive inning for him, or massive day for him on the mound. Now in the 2 hole, Evan Smith watches a curveball stay low for ball 1. So Ryan Harrelson, courtesy runner, over at second for the catcher Rucker Brandon. Evan Smith looking to put him home at the plate. 1-0 coming home, fastball low, again, ball 2. Again, Torbett has now exceeded 20 pitches this inning. He's at 78. This could be his final inning here against the 2-1-5. He's went 5 innings in his both appearances. So we'll see if they stretch him farther in this 1-1 game in the 5th. 2-0 coming home. Curveball stays away. Now it's 3-0 against the right-handed hitter. Torbett, 3 straight balls to Evan Smith. I'll be surprised if Evan moves to bat here at the plate. Torbett comes set. Looks over at second. Now comes home. The pitch. Inner half of the zone. Fastball, strike 1. And now Carnahan's going to come talk to his pitcher. We've seen this already a couple times tonight, about twice, where Carnahan sees something here on a kind of a random pitch in the at-bat. I mean, I know it was the first strike of the at-bat, but Carnahan saw something he liked. Now the catcher comes back to his position, and the at-bat will continue. 3-1, 2 outs, tied game here in the 5th. Doesn't get much better than this. Pitch coming home to Evan, curveball up the middle, that's going to find the swap and get through, base hit. Coming around third's Harrelson, the throw goes into second, now it's going to be cut off. And Ryan Harrelson comes home with the go-ahead run. Evan Smith does it again. 3 for 3 last night. Had a walk-off in the first game and now hits the go-ahead RBI single here in the 5th.
Now batting for Richland Post 215, the second baseman, Julian Scott.
Evan Smith finding success against Lexington 7. Now the 2-1-5 retake the lead. It's 2-1. That was only the 4th hit of the night. All have come for Richland. Julian Scott at the plate. That ball gets away from Carnahan, and Evan Smith, good jump on it, takes second on the ball in the dirt. Now there's a runner in scoring position for Julian Scott. Scott, arguably the second best hitter on this team, has 5 RBIs with 1 homer. And now we're going to see looks like a mound visit here for Lexington. This may be all for Torbett after he's been extended this inning. He's hit about the 30 pitch mark this inning. They're going to talk it over on the mound. Looks like he'll probably stay in the game, though.
Yeah, nobody in the bullpen there either. Well, I guess you don't normally see, you wouldn't see as much bullpen activity in Legion Ball when the next pitcher is probably on the field anyways.
Yeah, I would assume the next pitcher's on the field. Now, again, I mean, you never know. There's pitchers everywhere on both these teams.
Yeah, yeah.
We've seen, I think there's been over probably about a dozen pitchers for either side for both these teams out of like the 20 players that they carry on the roster. So kind of just depends on who you want to go in a situation. So back to the count. It's one, or the at-bat. The count is 1-0 with 2 outs. Julian Scott, fastball inside against the lefty. It's now 2-0. Torbett really has kind of lost his finding of the zone here after that leadoff walk to Rucker Brannon. He's been working in every single count here. It's 2-0, 2 down, runner at second. Julian Scott, pitch line up the middle, diving stop there from Evans at short. He throws to first in time for the 3rd out. On his butt, Patrick Evans dives and robs a RBI single from Julian Scott, keeping this game at a 2-1. But the 2-1-5 take the lead off the bat of Evan Smith. Will come to the top of the 6th with a new pitcher for the 2-1-5 here in Forest Acres.
For Lexington is the shortstop, Patrick Evans.
So we return to action here at Forest Acres, and apparently Matthew Moore staying in the game. Moore pitched 80 pitches against Florence in his last outing. He will probably exceed that here tonight. First pitch flied into right field. Caleb Gibson coming over, makes the play out 1. Patrick Evans is at the dish, couldn't even get his name out before he popped out to Caleb Gibson in right field for the first out of the 6th.
For Lexington, first baseman Gavin Creed.
Well, Matthew Moore may not exceed that pitch count if this how his inning's going to go. 1 pitch, 1 out. Now the left-handed first baseman Gavin Creed get his 3rd cracks here against Moore. First pitch to him, fastball right down Broadway for strike number 1. Creed reached base off of an error in the 2nd, but he grounded out to Matthew Moore in the 4th. See if he can get a hit, the first hit of the night for Lexington. That doesn't do it there, though. Fastball on the outer edge of the zone for strike 2. Matthew Moore ahead of Creed, 0-2. Curveball, low and away. Ball 1. Good pitch there from Moore, trying to get Creed to chase. However, Creed doesn't budge, keeping him in the at-bat. Moore, the right-hander, now comes home and deals. Ball poked out to shortstop. Cooper Revels fields it cleanly, now quickly fires to first for the 2nd out. Cooper took his time getting that ball and had to quickly fire once he collected himself and made the play. So 2 down here. Only 4 pitches, or 5 pitches for Matthew Moore. Jaden Carnahan, the catcher for Lexington, now at the dish. The righty has been struck out twice tonight. Matthew Moore greets him for the 3rd time with a fastball just low of the zone. Ball 1. Again, the 2-1-5 took the lead in the 5th, trying to maintain it here 1-0 pitch coming home, curveball taken into left field, base hit. Carnahan will break up the no-hitter. That ball goes between him. Carnahan's going to round and go into second. Throw, not in time. Carnahan with a 2-out double, breaking up the no-hitter for Matthew Moore. That ball just over the reach of Cooper Rebels at short, into the left center gap. But cut Rince Benson, Carew Bates. By the time they were able to get up to it, Carnahan was standing into second. So, big opportunity for Reynolds. He's had RBI chances in his last 2 at-bats, but is yet to produce. First pitch to him, poked into the net, foul.
Ooh, hey, Lucy Gray Helmley is over my shoulder. I gotta mention the Bend Don't Break party at the end of this inning.
I was about to say, too much excitement right now for the. They've got the tying run at second.
I know. Yeah.
And Matthew Moore trying to keep it off the board. 0-1 pitch coming home. Grounder up the middle. Going to be a tough play for Cooper. He comes over. Now fires, makes the play in time. Out 3.
That was really smooth.
Cooper Revels. That ball almost got up the middle, and if it did, would have been a run. But Cooper Revels cuts it off and keeps the run off the board. So now.
All right, yeah.
There
So
we go.
before we go to the bottom of the 6th. This Friday at the, let me pull up the flyer first. This Friday at the Loose Cockaboose is the Bend Don't Break party. It's a celebration in memory of Michael Helmley and a fundraiser for his Bend Don't Break Foundation. If you can make it, please join us. Yeah, Friday from 7 to 11 at the Loose Cockaboose down by Williams-Brice Stadium. It's $40 per person, $20 per student, and if you want to attend, you can Venmo at Bend Don't Break Foundation, and hope to see you there. That said, Alex will be here. I'll set up for him and stuff, but he'll still be here streaming.
Yeah, you're stuck with just me on Friday.
Yeah.
Good luck.
But yeah, if not, well, maybe I'll try to make them put the game on a stream on one of the screens at Loose Cockaboose. Watch some definite fiction from Loose Cockaboose.
You can watch me try to inaccurately get the scoreboard right.
Yeah, it'll be fine, I'm sure.
We have different definitions of fine, but yeah. Here's the problem. I'm not going to know the technical side of everything. So like, if something goes to, if like something like your frames drop or something, I'm gonna have no idea. But we're gonna go for it.
If that all that happens, yeah, we'll see.
Oh, glad you have faith in me.
Yeah, no. I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong in a live stream.
Everything that can.
Is this the same picture?
Yeah, it is. I was going to say
wow.
when it came back, because we talked through the whole break, but Jake Torbit's still out there on the mound for Lexington. Trying to say anything you can do, Matthew, I can try to do. Maybe not as well, but pretty good. I mean, Matthew had a 1-hitter going into the day. Hard to top that, but Torbit's going to try to keep this game in a 1-run.
Yeah, but he's already...
He's at...
Matthew's only at, what, like 81-ish?
Yeah, Matthew's about 81, and Torbit just threw his 86th pitch, now 87, right down Broadway. No, it's higher on the numbers, or the letters. Excuse me. It looked like it was right down Broadway, but apparently umpire said it was a little high. So it's 2-0 here against Cannon Dorsey. Next pitch looked to be the same location. That one was called a strike. So 2-1 against the designated hitter for the 2-1-5, who singled and has flied out in his 2 plate appearances so far. There's a big swing and a miss for strike 2. Dorsey goes down on one knee after trying to put a ball into right field. So now Torbit fights back. He's tied the count at 2-2. Wheels deals to the plate. Big swing and a miss. Cannon Dorsey goes down swinging. Strike 3 for Cannon Dorsey. Third strikeout of the night for Jake Torbit, as the wind now starting to come in consistently from right to left. It's been kind of just breezy all night, but now the wind making a late appearance tonight. After made an early one yesterday. At the plate, it's Rince Best. He has 0 for 2 tonight with a line out and a ground out. First pitch to him, curveball right over the heart of the plate, strike 1. Beautiful curveball from Torbit. Just as good as Moore's. Gets Best looking now. Best. Next pitch high, pop-up, shallow right field. Going back to second baseman Gabe Harold calls everyone off and makes the play. 2 down quickly here in the bottom of the 6th.
Now batting for Richland is the right fielder, Caleb Gibson.
So back up for the 2-1-5. It's Caleb Gibson. Got a much-needed single in his last at-bat. Trying to get his summer on track here. Torbett, though, has been solid all day on the mound. And he takes that change-up on the outer edge of the plate for strike 1. Gibson not happy with the call. Gave a look of disappointment and then kind of looked at the umpire with a look of disappointment there. Now steps back in the box. That one is outside this time. So 1-1 goes the count. Fastball didn't bite, was Gibson. 1-1 pitch, 2 outs, coming home, fastball low, just around the knees, didn't get the zone. 2-1 here for the right-handed right fielder for the 2-1-5. Brady on the mound, comes home this time, slider low in the zone, caught looking. Strike 2, Gibson asked where that was, umpire said a strike. So 2-2, 2 outs. Go to Gibson, curveball. He fights it off, fouls it down the right field line. That will travel out of play. Gibson stays alive in the count. Two and two the count. Coming home, Torbett, low ball 3. Gibson works it full. After Gibson on deck, that's Matthew Davidson. The first baseman is also looking for his first hit of the night, unlike Gibson. But Gibson's got to get on for it to matter. Full count pitch coming home. Gibson, hard hit to shortstop, diving, can't make the play as Evan that gets under his gloves into left field. Base knock for Gibson. He's 2 for 3. So Gibson, who wasn't having the summer he needed so far, now has back-to-back singles here in his last 2 plate appearances, and that will bring up Matthew Davidson.
There are only 6 hits in the game. He's got 2 of them.
He's only 6 hits in the game. 5 of them have been for the 2-1-5, and 2 of them gone to Caleb Gibson. This is a pitcher's duel at its finest here in Forest Acres, and the Newberry baseball commit can try to get a big insurance run in from first. Gibson goes first pitch, ball right down Broadway, strike 1. Throw down, not even close. Gibson slides in safely into scoring position. So there was no movement of the bat from Davidson. He was taken all the way and one looked right over the heart of the plate because Gibson took off first pitch and wasn't caught. Next pitch on the way, the 0-1 high and away. Ball 1. So 1-1 here for the Newberry baseball player. Trying to put a big insurance run on for the 2-1-5. Torbett steps off and Gibson has to retreat back to the bag. So 1-1, catcher motions outside. Now sets back up right over the plate. 1-1 pitch low in the dirt, but great stop there from Carnahan. Forces Gibson to stay at second. Davidson so far this year has 2 RBIs coming into the night. Trying for a big third one there. Again, both of the last 2 games between these 2 squads have been a 1-run ball game for most of the game. Trying to change that is Matthew Davidson at the plate. 2-1 pitch coming home, high, ball 3. Now Davidson's path to first has opened. And then on deck afterwards will be the 13-pitch at-bat superstar, Rucker Brannon. But we'll see if Torbett can get to him. Trying to get Davidson out first. 3-1 pitch, swinging, strike 2, curveball. Davidson swung under it. Looked like it was maybe foul tipped into the glove. Nonetheless, 3-2 count here, 2 outs. Gibson on second. He's already swiped a bag so far. We'll see if maybe he tries to go again. Full count pitch coming home. No movement. Swinging strike 3. Torbett gets out of it. Davidson swings at a curveball on the outer edge to keep this at a 1-run game. So Lexington down by a run, going to 7. Looks like Matthew Moore will trot back out there. Can he close this game down? Or will Lexington tie it up and take the lead? We'll be right back here at Forest Acres to find out. So Matthew Moore, he's back out there on the bump, trying to finish this one off. Leading off, pitch hitter Obed Owsley, trying for some matchup advantage against the righty Matthew Moore. The lefty Obed Owsley getting one of his first cracks this summer. Matthew Moore threw a ball to him first time, now throws a fastball outer third of the zone, strike 1. Owsley hasn't actually even got up to bat. His only appearance in the Legion League is got on the mound where he gave up an earned run. 1-1 here. Hard grounder foul down the right field line. So Lexington trying what they can do, trying for a matchup advantage here against Matthew Moore, who's trying to go a complete game here, which will be the first for the 2-1-5 this summer. 1-2 pitch coming home. Fastball. Obed lays off. It goes outside. Even in the count at 2s. On the other side, Jake Torbett, so far tonight, giving up 5 hits, 2 runs, 4 strikeouts, and a walk, and he's in line for the loss. Crazy how baseball works. Pitch on the way, high pop-up, over to short. Cooper Revels vibrantly calls everyone off and sits under it for the first out. So a hard pop-up here. Powell in from the right side of the diamond.
Where are we in their order?
We're at the bottom, so it's 8, 9, and then 1. Hodges McCathern, 9-hole hitter, the DH, trying to find his way aboard for the 3rd time against Moore. He's been kind of one of the thorns in the side of Matthew Moore. He's reached off a hit by pitch and a fielder's choice. He takes a curveball inside that was really close to the zone. 1-0. Matthew Moore at 86 pitches. Torbett threw 105. Now going to 87. It's a fastball low in the zone. Caught looking, though, was McCathern. It's now 1-1. 1-1, 1 out. Matthew Moore coming home. Curveball, high ball 2. That one stayed around the eyes of McCathern. McCathern, one of the only people from either side to reach base both times he's been up. But he takes a fastball in the outer third of the zone. Low, 2-2. Designated hitter trying to start a rally here. 2-2 pitch coming home. Fastball fouled. Out of play on the right side. This is only Matthew Moore's second appearance so far this summer, and he's making the most of it, becoming a staple for this pitching staff. 2-2 pitch, curveball swing and a miss. Got him on strikes. Maybe, no, it wasn't a drop third strike. Rucker Brand just threw it down for kicks. Now there are 2 away. Matthew Moore, that's 6 strikeouts on the evening. And Lexington down to their final out. Of course, it had to come down to this. This is the third game that could be decided by one singular run. The 2-1, 5-1, all 3, or 1 all 2. I'm not going to say it yet. Long way to go before that one, but won the last 2 by 1 run. The only chance they got is Gabe Harold, who takes a fastball right down Broadway for strike number 1. Harold walked in the 5th, but he struck out in his both other appearances. Trying to change that here. 0-1 coming home. Curveball. Foul down the left field line. Just like that, Lexington down to their final strike of this evening. Again, this game has flown by only an hour and a half. These usually take 2.5 hours at the least. But a pitcher's duel from both has caused it to fly. 0-2 pitch. Curveball low. Ball 1. Again, a pitcher's duel. Torbett going 105 in 6 innings. Matthew Moore trying to complete the distance here. 1-2 pitch on its way home. Chopped over to the left side. Evan Smith at third. First play of the night. Gloves it in the dirt. Picked. He is safe. Harold beats it out. It was a hard play for Evan Smith, and he had to collect himself with the chopper, allowing Harold to get a board for a single and allow the second hit of the night here for Lexington. So that's Whit Rucker here at the plate. The tying run is aboard for Lexington. Go-ahead run at the plate. That's Whit Rucker. Rucker, though, hasn't found success tonight. He's flown out, popped out, and lined out all tonight, trying to find a hit. First pitch low in the dirt. Rucker Brandon picks it up, though, keeping Harold at first. Big spot here for number 1, Whit Rucker. The left-handed right fielder trying to extend this game with Gabe Harold over at first. Pitch now coming home, low inside, ball 2. Harold had no leadoff there. Didn't want to get picked off. Not even trying. He's the stolen base leader for this Lexington team. He swiped 5 of 6 bags, and now it looks like there's some trouble. Maybe he's in some pain over at first. Not exactly sure what happened. Maybe it was on the ground or the grounder to Evan that he beat out. Looks like it's his foot that he's kind of tending to right now. I'm assuming what happened was when he beat out the grounder to third, kind of stepped on it funky over at first. Now trying to kind of stretch it out here and stay in the game. Again, he's probably the fastest player on this Lexington team. They would love him to stay at first so we can go from first to home, depending on where this ball's hit. However, it's really hard to do it when you have a hurt foot. Now he hobbles off the bag, and again, not a big leadoff. Looks like he's not going to even try to attempt here. 2-0 pitch coming home. High ball 3. Matthew Moore in danger of walking his 4th batter tonight, and it probably couldn't come at a worse time. Over at first, Harold shaking that foot out. Now he shows bunt. That ball gets away from him. Ball 4. No, it looked like it hit him. It hits Whit Rucker. So that's his 3rd batter he's hit tonight. And now there are 2 aboard in the go-ahead run at first, the tying run at second. I'm eating my words. I accidentally said they've won all 3. And just as that happened, Matthew Moore is about to get taken out of the game, it looks like. And coming in all the way from left field, going to be Rince Best, trying to finish this one off. Great game from Matthew Moore. Just hit 100 pitches, a 2-hitter tonight. He'll leave the mound with a 2-1 lead. Can Evan Smith, or Rince Best, not Evan Smith, can Rince Best get a big last out? We'll find out here as a pitching change here on Definite Fiction. So in comes Rince Best from left field. Robert Harrington will replace him. Now Rince trying to get a final out. One last big out against Lexington. He's got Weston Grant at the plate to go through. First pitch to him, fastball just low. Ball 1. So what couldn't be a bigger spot? This is Rentz's first appearance on the mound this summer. Big spot here for the kid. Trying to just find an out. Next pitch on the way, high inside around the head of Weston Grant. It's now 2-0. Again, this is the heart of their order now. Weston Grant at the plate, Gabe Harold at second, Whit Rucker at first, and on deck, the 4-hole Patrick Evans. Tough spot for Rince to come into. 2-0 pitch on the way, bouncing in the dirt. It's now 3-0. Lexington trying, hoping they can get back up in the field of the 7th. Weston Grant, he's ahead 3-0 here with 2 outs. Now Rince will exchange a ball behind the dish. Lexington trying to get up. Trying not to fall to 500 here. Trying to finally take one off the 2-1-5. 3-0 pitch, coming home, ball low in the dirt. And another walk here for Lexington. This time Grant is aboard with his second walk of the night. So it's the right-handed Patrick Evans getting the chance. Put up or shut up time. Bases are loaded. 2 outs. The 2-1-5 hold the 2-1 lead. Trying to keep it. First pitch from Rince, right down Broadway, strike 1. It's an interesting idea not to move the bat. You know, after a walk, a lot of pitchers try to come back and just get a strike. That's what Rince did, and Evans watched it go by. Now the 0-1 from Rince coming in. Curveball, whoa, gets away from Rucker Brandon. Breaking from third is Harold, and he will come home and score the tying run to put this game back on 2s. Harold hobbling back to the dugout. Definitely did something to his foot when he beat out the grounder. And that infield single comes back to haunt Matthew Moore, as that's his second earned run he's given up tonight. 1-1 coming home now. Rince low. Rucker Brandon, though, gloves this one. It's now 2-1. 2 runners in scoring position. First base did open up, though. For Rince, doesn't want to have to use it. 2-1 coming home. Pitch in the dirt. Rucker Brandon, great stop behind the plate. Keeps that in front of him, keeping Whit Rucker at third. So after a first pitch strike, Rince Best falls behind 3-1 here. Trying to get one final out. Or not even a final out anymore, it would go to 7. 3-1 on the way, low ball 4. Another walk for Rince. This one will load the bases again. And now it looks like we can get a mound visit here to Rince Best. And it looks like it's already done. Rince got 2 batters, walked them both. And his night is over. Tough spot for Coach Dorsey there, putting Rince in. And now we're going to have to see where we go from here. Pitching change for the 2-1-5. We'll be right back here in Forest Acres after this. So pitching change here. Carew Bates comes in from center, replacing Evan Smith. And Coach Dorsey doing two interesting moves, putting Rince Best for his first appearance of the summer on the bump with no warm-up, and doing the same with Carew Bates. They're trying to get one out to get out of the inning. Batter's going to be Gavin Creed. First pitch to him, he fouls into the net. 0-1.
For Lexington, Carew Bates, new pitcher to Richland.
So Carew, he's a college Charleston commit, but not for pitching. He's definitely a fielder because this is also his first time on the bump this summer. 0-1 pitch coming home, high fastball, 1-1. The last time we saw Carew was in the Falcons' last game of the season, where he gave up 2 runs in the loss. That would bump the Falcons out of the playoffs. Now trying to get one out here. 1-1 pitch coming home from the right-hander. High and away, ball 2. Carew, after a first pitch strike, is falling behind 2-1 here against Creed. The 2-1-5 can only give up 2 hits all night, in danger of falling behind in this game in the 7th. 2-1 coming home, fouled in hard into the Lexington dugout. Luckily, no one was hit. That was right under the feet of a player on the wall, number 18, Tyler Floyd. Didn't get hit, luckily. But that was a hot shot towards him. Now it's 2-2. Carew looking for one pitch. Remember, go-ahead run at third. Insurance behind it. 2-2 pitch coming home. Outside fastball. Filler up. 3-2. 2 outs. Game's tied 2-2. It's the top of the 7th inning. The 2-1-5 held the lead most of the night. Now Lexington trying to take it for the first time. Full count pitch coming. Fouled it back. So we'll do it again.
Change up there.
And everyone was running. I agree with the running decisions from Lexington. I've already kind of made my decisions known. I think you should run no matter what the count is on 2 outs, if the bases are loaded or not. And there to do it. 3-2, everyone comes. Pitch goes home, foul down the right field line this time. So we'll do it again. Creed just fighting enough here. Carew Bates, the right-handed pitcher and his first batter of the summer, called upon to get 1 out. And if he doesn't, Lexington takes the lead. Full count pitch coming home again. That one's fouled back yet again. Deja vu to Rucker Brannon's fight with Jake Torbett back in the 5th. Carew is throwing 8 pitches in this at-bat. About to throw number 9 here to Creed. If he walks him, the go-ahead run comes home. Next pitch, swing, miss, strike 3. Carew Bates gets a big 3rd out, but after a questionable decision, Rince Best comes into pitch and walks 2, gives up a run. We are tied 2-2. Can the 2-1-5 walk it off? We'll go to the bottom of the 7 and find out. So, Jake Torbett, he is done for the night after 105 pitches thrown, 6 innings pitched. But Lexington does their job, gets him off the hook for the loss. After a pitcher's duel between him and Matthew Moore, neither will be lined up for the win or loss anymore. That loss could be lined up on Weston Grant. It's going to be pretty hard for him to get the win unless he throws 2 scoreless innings, which would really push him as he's only had 3 innings pitched this whole summer here. We'll see what he can do here against 8, 9, and 1. The righty comes in from third. DH replaces him. Hodges MacArthur now steps into third. Everything else stays the same as he throws one to Rucker Brandon high, ball 1. So it's 8-9-1, Rucker Brandon, Cooper Revels, Carew Bates. Hot shot on the ground to third. Evans, another diving at stop. This time he throws to first, but Rucker Brandon beats him out. Infield single for Rucker Brandon gets the 7th going for the 2-1-5.
Yeah, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but I don't know if I've talked about this, but I love it. I love it when the pitchers pick up for themselves. And the current pitcher of record for 2-1-5 is on deck. So
That would be nice.
So see if Cooper can get Rucker into scoring position.
Yeah, because technically, if the 2-1-5 were to win it right now, lined up for the win would be none other than Carew Bates, who got probably one of the biggest outs of the summer so far. I mean, getting called in cold from center field to come in and get 1 out with the bases loaded and then have a 10-pitch at bat against their 5-hole hitter. Impressive nonetheless. But Cooper Revels try to get him online for the win as Weston Grant tries to pick Rucker Brandon off at first. Rucker had his first stolen base of the summer after getting a phenomenal jump off of Torbett. Now Cooper shows bunt, pitch low and away, ball 1. But yeah, Rucker Brandon got a phenomenal jump off of Torbett, stealing second, and he came around and scored what at the time was the go-ahead run in the 5th. Now game's tied at 2. Throw back to first again. However, the 2-1-5 been in this situation before. Back all the way in the first game of the year, Evan Smith walked it off in this exact same spot. Cooper Revels shows bunt again and lets one go low. It's ball 2 here against Cooper Revels. Cooper's the 9-hole, and then it turns over to Carew on deck, who would love to finish the game right where he started, off with a hit and a run scored. Now 2-0, Cooper shows bunt. This time he's got it down left side. Great bunt. Hodges, all he can do is go to first, and he is safe. Cooper Revels beats it out. What a play. That bunt got down, and Hodges MacArthur kind of stood there, and I mean, it wasn't the slowest throw, but it wasn't quick, leading Cooper Revels to beat it out. So an infield bunt single for Cooper Revels puts the runner in scoring position for Carew Bates. So Weston Grant, tough start, 2 infield singles, now puts him on the line here against the top of the order for the 2-1-5. The exact same situation it was for Lexington just an inning ago. However, there's no outs in this one. Carew has 11 RBIs now on the summer. The winning RBI and number 12 is Rucker Brandon over at second base. Weston Grant keeping an eye on him. Now comes home to Carew, chopping over to the right side. First base, Gavin Creek comes and gets it now. Covering first, Weston Grant over to make the play in time, out 1. But Carew Bates, a productive ground out, now moves the winning run 90 feet away at third. So Evan Smith, you know, back so long ago, we've talked about it a couple times tonight. I mean, I've said it just about probably 5 minutes ago. Had a walk-off. That was this guy. Evan Smith put one up the middle against this exact same team. Can he do it again? Infield is in for Lexington. First pitch to him, fouled off. And Evan trying just to poke that one where it's not. It'll be interesting to see wherever this ball is, if Rucker Brandon breaks for home or not. But the infield is in. The outfield's also playing in, simply because any ball that pretty much gets over their head, no matter, would be too deep for a sac fly anyway. We will see if Evan Smith can deliver, or if Weston Grant can get a big second out. There's not much in between. 0-1 coming home. Evan, hard hit, left side, base hit it again. Evan Smith, for the second time this summer, walks off Lexington post 7 for the summer sweep. A tough way to end it for Lexington. Evan Smith went 3 for 3 yesterday, goes 2 for 4 today with a walk-off single. Have a summer against another Midland team. Evan Smith continues to produce against them, and Lexington continues the trend of losing 1-run games to 2-1-5.
I'm glad we're not here through 10 innings.
Okay, just so y'all back at home, I joked to Jeff starting the 7th. I said this game. I said it's 8:30. I said knowing our luck, they're gonna tie it in the 7th. It'll be a smooth 7th inning, and then we're just gonna end in 10.
Yep.
We'll be here till like 10 o'clock, and after getting out of here in pretty quick time, Evan Smith saves us from that.
This is fantastic. It's under 2 hours. Under 2 hours and a walk-off. Yeah, it's all I ask for in a baseball game.
Evan Smith gets to start at third base. Technically could have ended the game an inning ago if he got the trigger a little quicker on the ground out from Gabe Harold, but makes up for it all the less and ends the game in a good way here for the 2-1-5. Tough loss for Weston Grant. Didn't record an out and wasn't able to finish the job for Lexington. 2 infield singles.
His pitches were good, though. I mean, it's not...
I'd say, there was really the one ball. I mean, the one up the middle was a good hit from Rucker Brandon. I mean, there was probably no way. Patrick Emmons had a phenomenal dive to stop that in front of him. Then Hodges need to make that play at first. I mean, unfortunately, there's not many ways around it. You kind of have to throw Cooper Rebels out at first. So that's one. Then obviously the ground at the Carrillo, that's 2 outs, and then obviously the single. And if you don't, and if there's 2 outs, you don't play the infield up, which means.
Yeah.
You play which means that's probably an out. I mean, that wasn't the hardest hit ball. That was just hard hit enough for the infield in that it didn't matter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would have been close play at first.
Yeah.
It would have been close play at first, but depending on
got some speed.
If there was just a situation, depending on if that first out would have been made off the bunt from Cooper Revels, it could have been a very different inning for Weston Grant. But unfortunately for him, he gets the loss and gives up 3 hits.
All right. Well, that was fun.
It was smooth sailing, Pitchers duel, Jake Torbett, Matthew Moore combined 12.2 innings.
Yeah.
Really doing the job.
Yeah, it was nice by Matthew Moore.
Yeah,
I guess one of the good things about having a Dreer pitcher, they do have experience pitching over 100 pitches. So.
Both pitchers tonight were phenomenal. Had their best stuff. A combined 10 strikeouts, 4 from Torbett, and then 6 from Matthew Moore. Now, walks did kill Matthew Moore. He had 3 walks and 3 hit by pitches compared to Torbett's 1. And they both went over 100 with, I think, Torbett going 105 and Matthew Moore hitting 100 exactly.
Awesome. All right, well, we're Definite Fiction is off tomorrow.
I know,
Nothing.
I know that. I think there's Thursday. I won't be there for that game. I was not aware there was a game until about last week.
Yeah, I'll be here to stream that.
So it'll be our blue team getting another home game. I know.
Yeah.
I feel like we see them I feel like I never see our gold team. I've seen it like one time since game 1, and then the blue just comes back. They play Lexington on Thursday, which they also play tomorrow. So we'll see how they can do if they continue being undefeated.
Yeah. Let me throw this Bend Don't Break flyer up one more time. This is Friday night at Loose Cockaboose down next to Williams-Brice Stadium, South Stadium Street. If you're in the area, come and support that. That was it's Michael Helmley's foundation. The foundation formed in memory of him. He was the father of Hunter Helmley, a former Flora baseball player, and Lucy Gray Helmley, who was here earlier tonight. You can, if you want to learn more about the foundation, you go to don'tbreak.org. I'd love to see you there, and I'll make sure that somebody plays the game on one of the TVs. At the Loose Cockaboose, Friday, starting at 7. And it's $40 per person, $20 if you're a student. You can Venmo to @BendDon'tBreak Foundation. All right.
So yeah, next time I'll see y'all is on Friday. The senior team, after they have now won 5 straight in a row, they hope to make it 6 against Camden on Friday.
That's the big one, Camden.
That's the revenge game. So the 2-5, they've lost 3 games. They've lost 1 to North Charleston, which is not a region game, and then they've lost 1 to Sumter, another non-region. And the only region game they've dropped, because they're 6-1 in region, is to Camden. They got down 7-0 back on May 31st.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking
You'll
forward to watching.
you'll be watching it. I mean, you can comment on the stream, and I'll do my best to reply to you as I'm sitting there trying to play-by-play and do the scoreboard and make sure the stream's going smoothly, which is
excellent.
I may have to be here early.
Yeah. So it'll be fun.
It'll be a good one. The 2-5, they're hot. See if they can continue.
Awesome. All right. See you guys Thursday, and see you Friday, Alex.
Yep. See y'all.